Today we want to talk about the new Brazil regulation that is governing the movement of medicines through the Brazil supply chain. And that regulation really consists of reporting information across the different segments, manufacturers, distributors, and dispensers, in reporting key events and activities from them that include activation, which is like a commissioning event for a serial number, shipping, receiving, and termination, which is anything like a destroy event or a dispensing event. And so for the Brazil regulation, it's very similar to what we've seen in markets such as the EU, Saudi, in some cases Russia, where there's a central repository in which that information must be reported into. This process is commonly referred to as vertical integration. And with vertical integration, events are reported from the manufacturer to the central repository. When product is commissioned, when that batch is completed and serial numbers are commissioned, an activation event is sent to the central repository. When that product is shipped from the manufacturer to the customer, a shipping event is recorded within the central repository. And this process continues throughout the supply chain. The distributor records a receiving event. When they ship it, they record a shipping event. The dispenser records their receiving event, and then ultimately there's a termination event. And so by communicating just these four simple elements, the central authority now has the information it needs to be able to track the movement of those medicines through the Brazil market. What is probably the more complicated challenge in the Brazil requirement is a concept known as horizontal integration. And horizontal integration is communicating information across the supply chain. And what's difficult about this is that as a manufacturer, you ship to multiple locations, you sell product to multiple customers. So there's a need to send information to each of the companies that you're shipping product to. And they may be wholesalers, they may be health systems, retail pharmacies. So this creates a classic supply network challenge where you're required to integrate across multiple different companies. And the way this is typically done today is through a series of point-to-point integrations. And that becomes quite difficult for the manufacturer and anyone else in the supply chain in order to manage that. And so what TraceLink's done in recognition of this is we've developed our network model, which is an integrate once, interoperate with everyone model. And so what that model really consists of is, rather than these point-to-point integrations, the TraceLink Life Sciences Cloud defines everybody on that cloud. And everybody is operating within that cloud, whether you're a TraceLink customer or not. So a manufacturer that is a TraceLink customer can integrate with any of their trade partners, whether they're TraceLink customers or not. And the way they interoperate is each company on the network integrates in, your dispensers integrate their systems in, your distributors integrate their systems in, and ultimately the manufacturer integrates a single time into the TraceLink network, and we're able to communicate that information across that network to them. This greatly simplifies the manufacturer's work in standing up those point-to-point integrations, testing those integrations, and validating those integrations. So in summary, the Brazil requirement really consists of two parts. One that we're quite familiar with, of reporting information up to a central repository, referred to as vertical integration. But the piece that is unique is this concept of horizontal integration. And horizontal integration will be the most complex, the most time-consuming, and most challenging part of meeting the Brazil requirement. So we encourage you, as you're evaluating your solution, designing your solution, and evaluating different solution providers, to really look at what that solution provider's capability is to minimize the time, cost, and risk of integrating with your downstream trading partners.